welcome back to my channel. I'm not doing a studio vlog this week because I'm away currently, but I still wanted to upload something. So last week I put up on Instagram a little question box and said that I will do a very honest Q&A. Please send me your questions, and I've had quite a few. So I thought I would sit down. I'm actually going away today, so I am going to sit down and answer. I'm going to try and answer 10 questions. A lot of the questions I've had were very similar, so I'm going to try and group some together and answer them that way. I'm nice and cozy in my new little fluffy jumper that was recommended by Catnip. I'll leave a link for it below. It's just like a dreamy look. Absolutely love it. Right, let's get into these questions, shall we, and see what has been asked. So the first question is, have you ever found someone stealing / really copying your work? If so, how do you handle it? Hugs. Well, thank you so much. It happens. It happens, doesn't it? I have actually, completely honest, been on the receiving ends of both things. So I have been accused of copying, which I have strongly denied in the past, and I have had people copy me. It's one of those things that I'm just trying to get through and it's happening more and more. Like this time a year ago I didn't need to worry about it, but as you get bigger, a bigger following, people do take your ideas, they do take your style. I am kind of chilled about it. I just, if I see something and I'm like, very similar to my work. If it's like a direct copy with no reference to me, I'll just pop the person a little message and just say, hey, I love what you've done, but if you could just like mention me. It's really awkward to talk about, and I have to say I've had to do that like less than a handful of times, you know what I mean? Like it hardly happens, and it normally happens where somebody's maybe inexperienced or they don't really understand, so I just try and educate them. Like I don't ever like have a go at anybody. Like some people may have like traced my work and used it, and I just sort of say, look, you can't really do that. And I just try and boost their confidence and say, look, you can do it, and sort of like show them tutorials they could look at to improve their own skill set and things like that. So yeah, it does happen, sadly. Most of the time it's from people that aren't doing it maliciously. Like it never happens like that. It's starting to get like some things are very similar to my work, but not quite copying, and when those things happen I tend to just change my designs and move on. So whether it's like my thank you cards, my packaging, my stationery, like things, people do them very similar, and I'm like, right, it's ready for me to move on. I need to try something new. The next question was asked multiple times, and it's, do you have any business regrets? And I'm still very new to my business, really. Like, I mean, my business has been registered for like 8 years, but I've done all sorts of different things in my freelance journey, but in terms of doing what I do right now, I'm like a year in, 15 months in, something like that, so I still have many regrets to go. But I don't think that, oh my god, I can just see a spider. There's a spider over there. Okay, it doesn't matter. No, I don't have any business regrets. I feel like every decision I've made has brought me to here, so I don't want to change anything. The thing that I regret is, so a few years ago I was freelance. I was working next door, I was working with studios. I wasn't really doing this, I was kind of working on TV shows, things like that. And I knew that I wanted to move away from doing that and work on my own stuff, but I didn't really know how to go about it. So I started writing a blog, and I started like doing my own illustrations, but I just gave up because it wasn't working out. And I look back now and I think, Emily, if you'd have carried on doing your blog, you'd be like 4 years into it now. And yeah, I just wish I hadn't given up on that. But in terms of actual business decisions and things I've done, I have no regrets. How did you decide to share your family and personal life in your vlogs? And this is a really interesting question because I don't think that I do. I set a boundary. Like, I have these in place that I don't document or film anything that's not related to business. So Like I'm going away this week, I will not film that trip. Like I've got no desire to show my personal life, my family, things like that. So I mean, the decision to share my family, I suppose I share Luca and I chat about Matt, but I would never show personal things outside this room. It's just a personal decision I've made, and I just want to keep it very business and talking about my business. And yeah, so kind of I've made the decision to show little bits, but I have boundaries in place and I won't show anything that's not business. I hope that answers your question. What is your favourite and least favourite thing about the art community? So I absolutely love the art community on Instagram. I think it's a really positive place. I think it's a helpful place. It's something I'm trying to make better. Like I want to do my own little bit to improve the community, because I can understand where it might get a little bit, oh, I don't know, like people compare themselves and we don't want to help each other, and I can understand that there's a competition there, maybe. I mean, I don't believe in it. I always have believed community over competition, but that is my favourite thing. My favourite thing is supporting other artists, and you know, I'm an illustrator, but when another illustrator posts something and I love it, I just love to shout about it and you know, share it. And when people do that for me, I absolutely love that. So that's my favourite thing. My least favourite thing is, and I've been guilty for this in the past, and I'm breaking away from it, and I think an artist's abilities and worth are sometimes related to how many followers they have. So you know, like if somebody makes a comment on your post or they start following you and they've got 20,000 followers, you just automatically assume they must be amazing. And the same, like if somebody likes your post and they have really nice drawings but they've only got 20 followers, it's like, oh well, something must be wrong. And I really hate that. Some of the best, most amazing artists I've found in the last year have less than 1,000 followers, and yes, I would love to promote them and get people to see them and get them more followers because it's more eyes on their work. But I've just realised that some people, for example, I've had people follow me with 70,000 followers, and yes, their work's amazing, but if you look at their followers, they're just bots, they're not real. They've obviously bought those followers. So I'm just slowly realising that somebody's abilities, their worth, their talent is not always reflected in how many people are following them. And yeah, you just don't click on somebody's profile, look at the numbers and judge their abilities based on that following. Does that make sense? My following has grown a lot this year, from like 1,000 to 10,000 followers, but a year ago nobody knew who I was, and I used to just draw like this. I just never want to judge anybody by like the amount of followers, and to me, if someone's amazing at drawing and they inspire me and I love their posts, I will follow them. I won't just instantly follow just because they've got 30,000 followers. I hope that makes sense. So next up is, what scares you about being a small business owner? How do you overcome your fear? I have several fears with my business, and this is me again being completely honest. The first one is that it could all end tomorrow. It could all just be stripped away from me, and I could lose my patrons, I could lose everything I've built this year, and it could just go. Now, something drastic would have to happen, but there's that fear always there. And to be honest, I kind of like having that fear because it makes me work harder, it makes me want to try harder, because I just think, you know, it could be gone tomorrow. So, you know, I never take anything for granted. Another thing that really scares me in my business is that as it grows, I'm realizing that I can't do everything myself anymore. So when it was small, I was able to look after my baby, package the one order I had that week, you know, work on my Patreon when I had 20 patrons and I could answer everybody's messages, and you know what I mean, things like that. As it grows, obviously I am thrilled, I'm overwhelmed, but I now have to look after a toddler while packaging 30 orders that have come in that week, and my patrons is almost at 300, so that's a lot of messages to get through and a lot of things, and it's getting bigger and I'm absolutely loving every second. But I'm realizing that I am gonna have to get help soon if I want the quality of business to stay high. Like, I want everybody's messages to be answered. I want to, you know, package every order with the same amount of love. I don't want to have to rush them. So bringing somebody in is exciting and means that I'm growing, which is great, but it gives up a bit of control. Like, I like to do a little bit of everything. So I don't want to bring someone in and say, hey, your job is to package orders, because I love packaging orders. I love doing that and adding little notes to it. So it scares me that it's growing and I can't do it all myself, and I'm gonna need some help. But yeah, that was very honest. The next question is it sometimes discouraging not making a sale some days? And the answer is yes. I don't think I will ever lose that. So last year that happened often. I didn't get many sales, and I just didn't earn a lot last year, and it was really hard. But what I realized was I needed to set up multiple income streams, and I actually talked about this on a Zoom call with my patrons last week, how important it is to have multiple income streams, so that if you don't have sales, you have other things in the background that are going on. And so now, if I don't make a sale, like I haven't made a sale, I think I made one sale yesterday, but it's been very slow recently. And if that was my only source of income, I would be panicking right now. But luckily I have Patreon, I have YouTube, I have like so many different income streams now that bring me little bits of money each, that it's not as discouraging. I'm just like, that's just what happens. Some weeks are great, some are not, and you've just kind of got to ride that wave. So yeah, if you're feeling discouraged by not having a sale, put some time into building up other income streams so that you're not worrying if that happens. So the next question, this one I had quite a lot, and it was essentially, if you could go back in time a year, someone said a year, someone said 3 years, what would you tell your old self? And honestly, this is another honest question. It would be to not worry about having children and how it would affect your business. So this is very honest. I wanted a baby a few years ago, and we started trying for a baby. We started trying for a baby. I was in a job and we just started trying. But I don't know if you know this, but it can be really hard trying to have a baby. It took us nearly 18 months to have Luca. And I was in a job, and then I went freelance while we were trying. And do you know what? A part of me thinks it didn't work because I was always stressed, and I was really stressed that I really wanted a baby. I wanted to start a family with this person that I loved, but I was really scared that I wouldn't be able to work again. I wouldn't have any money. I'd have to stop being an artist. I wouldn't be able to work in industry because I was working in a studio 9 till 6, like in the city centre. Like, I would have to put my child in nursery. I didn't want to have to do that. So it was kind of like I was working, I was trying for a baby, but in the back of my mind I was like, if this works, my career is going to stop. So do I want it to work? So this is kind of like what I was thinking, and it took 18 months for me to get pregnant. And all through my pregnancy I was worried about it. I was working for like a Nickelodeon show while I was pregnant, and I was just thinking, oh my god, like this job is going to stop when I am ready to give birth. I have nothing else lined up. I've got no job. I'm going to have no money. And I was so worried about it for such a long time. And it's only now, where Luca is 18 months old, and I am working in my dream job, and I'm earning more now than I did when I was working for a studio, and I'm spending less time working. I'm spending it with Luca. Like, I've just found the perfect thing for me, and I just wish I could go back and say to her, don't worry about it, you're gonna be fine. Having children does not stop your career. For me, it's taken off after I've had a baby. So if you're watching this and you're also worried about that, maybe you are enjoying life with your business, you can put time into it, and you're thinking, oh my god, if I have a baby, this is all going to stop. Trust me, you can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. It's hard work and you've got to be organised, but you can have it all if you want it. So that's what I would tell myself, and that's what I want to tell you. Another question that came up quite a lot is kind of the opposite, and it's, where do you see yourself in 5 years with your business? Now this is such a hard question to answer, because if you know me and you've been with me for a while, in the new year I did a video which was my goal for the year. It was like a goals for the year video, and all of those goals were hit like early this year, and I'm slowly now just being like, oh, what is the next goal? What are we aiming for? I'm kind of just going with the flow at the minute. So I don't know where next year will be, never mind in 5 years. But I can just imagine in 5 years, I will have a 6-year-old. Oh my God, a 6-year-old. And I just really hope that I have the balance right still with work. I hope that if it has continued to grow, this business, I hope that I've still managed to keep it under control, and I'm still able to balance having time with Luca and have time in my business. I really hope that the passion for this business that I feel now, and how excited I am every month to create new content and to produce items and just do things, I hope I still feel that in 5 years. I hope that I'm excited every day of waking up, of like, what could today bring me? And if I don't feel that, I hope that I have tried something else and moved on to something else that does bring me happiness. I really hope that my community has grown on Patreon. I hope that people are coming there, getting the help that they need, feeling inspired, and I can help them and their business is blooming. Like, I really hope that happens. And yeah, I just don't know what Emily Harvey Art is in 5 years. I don't even know if it is Emily Harvey Art. It could be something else. But I just hope that I still have a smile. I hope that my family is happy and healthy, and yeah, can't really ask for anything better, really, can you? So the last question that I'm going to answer is, what part of running your business do you really not like? Now this one stumped me. I was like, what do I not like? I really enjoy everything I'm doing, and if I don't enjoy it, I'm not going to do it. There's obviously like admin tasks, they're not as fun as the creative tasks, but I still love it. I still love doing my taxes and things, and like, I don't know, I just love doing that kind of thing. But the thing that I really don't like is that I am not the most organised person, and I still rush doing things. I don't know if this answers the question properly, but basically sometimes I plan way too much. I have too many things going on at once, and I end up rushing around, and I hate the feeling of rushing things. Like, I hate that. So like, if I do a product launch and in my head I've planned out like 10 things I want to bring out, and like the day before I've only done 8, the idea of rushing those final 2 things like fills me with dread. I hate that, so I just won't do it. But even like this, I'm going away in an hour, and I'm still filming this video because I'm rushing and I'm leaving things last minute. I'm rubbish at stuff like this. So yeah, I need to get better at that. In 5 years time, I will be better at stuff like that. So ask me that question again next year, we'll see. Fingers crossed. So there we go, that was like a short and sweet little Q&A. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I've tried my best to be really honest. Thanks so much for watching, thanks for being here. If this is the first video you've ever watched, hi by the way, my name is Emily. I'm an illustrator, I draw things, like mentioned, I'm a mum. I do studio vlogs every week, but this week I'm having the week off. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe, come find me next week, and I'll see you very soon. Bye guys.